When people talk, listen completely. Those words of Ernest Hemingway might be a pretty good guiding principle for many managers, as might the dictum invoked by Zone of Saturn, a Greek philosopher. We have 2 ears and one mouth, so we should listen more than we say, for people like being listened to. Some firms use a technique known as listening cycle in which participants are encouraged to quote openly and honestly about issues they face. In such a cycle, only one person can talk at a time and there is no interruption. A study cited in the Harvard Business Review found that employees who had taken part in a listening cycle subsequently suffered less social anxiety and had fewer worry about working related matters than those who did not. Listening was critical to the career of Richard Molander, who was a British police officer for 30 years. Eventually, he became a hostage negotiator, dealing with everything from suicide interventions to international kidnaps. By the end of his stint in uniform, he was the lead trainer for the Metropolitan Police Hostage Negotiation Unit. When he left the force in 2007, he realized that his skills might be applicable in the business world, so he set up a firm called the Listening Institute. Mr. Molitor defines listening as the identification, selection, and interpretation of the keywords that turn information into intelligence. It is crucial to all effective communication. Plenty of people think that good listening is about nodding your head or keeping eyes contact, but that is not really listening, Mr. Molitor argued. A good listener is always looking for facts, emotion, and indications of the interlocutor's values. When it comes to a negotiation, people are looking for an outcome. The aim of listening is to ascertain what the other side is trying to achieve. Another important point to bear in mind is that when you talk, you are not listening. Every time you share an opinion, you give out information about yourself. Miss Mother said. In contrast, a good listener, by keeping quiet, gains an edge over his or her counterpart. Hostage negotiators usually work in teams, but the lead negotiator is the only one who talks. What we teach is that the second person in the team doesn't really talk at all, because if they are busy thinking about the next question to ask, they're not really a listener, Ms. Murdoch explained. The mistake many people make is to ask too many questions, rather than let the other people talk. The listener's focus should be on analyze. If you are trying to persuade someone to do something, you need to know what their beliefs are. If someone is upset, you need to assess their emotional state. Of course, a listener needs to be spoken occasionally. One approach is to make an assessment of what the other person is telling you and then check it with them. That gives the other party a sense that they are being understood. The fundamental aim to build up a relationship so the other person like you and trust you, Mr. Muller said. The pandemic has meant the most business conversations now take place on the phone or online. Previously, few in-person meeting occurs. Some might think this makes listening more difficult. It is harder to pick up the stubble cue that people reveal in their facial expressions and body language. But Mr. Murder said that too much is made of a bloody language. It's much easier to understand someone if you can hear them but not see them than if you can see but not hear them. He prefers to negotiate by telephone. Another key to good listening is paying attention and avoiding distraction. In the information age, it is all too easy for focus to drift to a new headline, a TikTok video, or the latest outrage of Twitter. In another study in the Harvard Business Review, participants paired with distracted listeners felt more anxious than those who received full attention. The lockdown has increased the needs for managers to listen to workers, since the opportunities for casual conversation has dwindled. Mr. Murderer thinks that many people has become frustrated in their isolation, which can lead to stress and anger. He thinks there may be a business opportunity in helping managers listen more efficiently so they can enhance employee well-being. After a year of association, many workers would probably love the chance to be heard.